Hey guys, welcome to a new video, finally. It's been way too long since I've uploaded, but today we're going to be making a Pentium 4 hackintosh using a Dell Dimension E310, and we're going to be installing macOS Snow Leopard. I know this is a distro, but this has a lot of stuff that's easier to find than all of the vanilla installation methods, because a lot of those files have just fallen off the face of the earth. So let us begin. We're gonna turn on the computer. As you can see, we have a GeForce 8400 GS installed, which will be helpful later. So we're going to the boot menu, and oh no, the tripod's blocking the disk drive. Hang on a second. There we go. That's better. So then we can pick the CD-ROM drive. So originally, you might have seen a video on this channel about making a hackintosh of macOS Tiger, but Tiger is very obsolete and you can't really do a whole lot on it. So by using Snow Leopard, we can actually run some newer software on it. But because it's a Pentium 4, some things won't work, and we'll go into that once this gets installed. But this is going to take forever to boot because it has to boot off the DVD. So I'm gonna cut the tape here, and we'll be back once this is booted. Alright, I went up and did something, and I came back, and the Snow Leopard installer has started. So, but ignore this piece of cardboard, by the way. It's a really sunny day out right now, and there's nobody home, so perfect time to film. But the sun was causing a bunch of glare, so I had to put a box there and some cardboard up there to block out the sun. Anyway, first thing we gotta do is open Disk Utility. And in Disk Utility, we're going to erase my... Well, we're gonna erase my partition, because I already have it set up here. So I already have a Dell Dimension drive. We're gonna go up to Erase, macOS Extended Journal, Dell Dimension, click Erase. It will unmount the disk and then erase it. Now you might be wondering, why are we using IATKOS? Because I've looked around for the vanilla methods to install Snow Leopard, but all of the files are basically gone, and the insanely Mac website won't let me sign into my account or send me a password reset email. So this is the best I can do. Anyway, so we have our drive formatted, so we can click it, but then we have to click Customize, because if we don't, it won't install or boot. So for a bootloader, we can leave it as the default. Then bootloader options, we got some things here. I don't need that right now. Patches, we need a legacy kernel. Unfortunately, even though we have SSE3, we can't boot the vanilla kernel, so we need the Qwoops 10.3.0 kernel. Evo reboot. We'll also take sleep enabler, so we no longer need any of these. And as for drivers, for main hardware, we need to use the Intel SATA IDE driver for this Dell Dimension E310, because that's what the chipset is. It's no older than IHC5. I believe it's actually ICH6. As for sound, we don't need this, but we do need this. So Voodoo HDA 26261. We'll install NTFS read-write just for funsies. For VGA, I don't need any of this because it does not support our card in the first place, so we can just ignore all of that. And then as for networking, we need to go to Wired, Intel, and click Intel Pro V100. And that's everything we need for the actual initial ATKOS install. So you can just click the install button. And this is going to take a very long time. I'm probably gonna... Normally, I like to leave this stuff in, but I'm probably gonna cut the tape because I don't have any of the normal background music I would put on, and this is literally just staring at a loading bar for probably a couple hours. So we'll come back once it's done, and just to show you guys I am prepared to film a video, I have my iPhone charger right here ready to go, so if my camera dies I can just plug it into the wall and it'll go. By the way, if you hear any background noise, I am filming directly in front of where I have my rack mount servers, so unless I can figure out how to do noise reduction, there's going to be a lot of fans in the background. I apologize, this room is pretty small, I don't really have that many opportunities for filming. But yeah, we'll let this go, and we'll come back once the initial installation is done. Because this is only half the battle, because we're going to update this to 10.6.8. And once we get to 10.6.8, then we'll start running stuff, because that's the newest version of Snow Leopard. Anyway, we'll be back once this is done. Alright, it has been approximately, what time is it? Like, an hour since I started the installation. But it is done installing, and we can reboot the computer. Let me move this speaker over here. This speaker is the only one that's going to be making sound, because this one's broken. I need to find a new set of these, because these are really nice, Harman Kardon Dell speakers, but they're the left one is broken, so the right one is the only one that makes sound, unfortunately. Oh wait, it's booting up the CD again. Don't do that, please. Please don't do that ever again. No. Give me the disc. Give me the disc. Okay. We no longer have IATKOS in the drive. And see, we can boot it. So just for fun, we'll add the verbose boot flag. Let's see if I can focus the camera. That's a little better. As you can see, we are booting. We have our audio driver, Voodoo HDA. So this is just going to boot. I also have to plug in my camera, because in the time it took for that install to finish, it went to 29% and was going to die. So yeah, that's cool. This iPhone 5S is literally a piece of crap. And we're gonna get copyright infringed. Yeah, dude. Alright, that's enough. I don't want to get a copyright strike for playing music. And as you can see, we don't have video drivers, so this runs like total shit. But you know what? That's okay. There's the big X. Okay, so... Oh, I put the speaker on the mouse cable. So, first we have to identify the keyboard. It is a ANSI keyboard. For reference, it is a Dell, pretty generic USB keyboard. I do not already own a Mac. I do not have an Apple ID, so screw off. My name is Ezio. I need a password. Word. Okay, so we have to put in a password here for stuff we're gonna do later. And, I need to pick my time zone, which is in, Columbus. Or just Eastern Daylight Time. Anyway, so once we've done that, we will boot into Mac OS. The audio is working fine, so we can crank it up a little bit here. Try and find where the notch is. There it is. Okay, so if we check about this Mac, you can see we have a 3.06 gigahertz. I can zoom in on that actually. Maybe. Oh, yeah, you can see it right there. We have a 3.06 gigahertz unknown processor with 2 gigabytes of DDR2 memory. Anyway, oop, noise. So, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to Finder, and we're gonna open Terminal for later. So, Terminal. And we'll keep this around for later. Then I have a thumbstick here. We're going to plug it into the Dimension E310. You can see we have EFA. I'm also going to turn on the hard disk option. So from here, we're going to copy this legacy kernel file. Oh my god! I will be right back once our landline stops ringing. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we need to copy the 10.68v2 legacy kernel. We're this updated version of Chameleon 2.2 R2404. We need the Mac OS X combo update. Multi-beast. We're probably not gonna need multi-beast, but it has a couple of... Oh, geez, that is out of focus. It has a couple of nice utilities on it that I like to use. And we're also gonna grab Voodoo HDA 271 and also 10.4 Fox for later. This is the wrong version of the NVIDIA WebDriver, so we'll copy those. We'll download the right one later. And so this is just going to go ahead and copy the few files I have selected. I did not mean to select. So we don't need that, so we can empty the trash. And we can eject my thumbstick and unplug it. Oh, that's no longer plugged in. Oops, I dropped it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is put this to the side. We're gonna extract some of these files. So here's multi-beast. So we can trash this and also trash this. Voodoo HDA, we don't really need it. I just like to have it around, keep it updated. 10.4 Fox, we'll extract this later, so I can go down here. And finally, the Nullcom Legacy Kernel 10.08v2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the macOS combo update, skip verifying it because I know this image is fine, and then we're gonna install the combo update. Welcome to the macOS update combined installer. Next. Okay, continue. I agree. Dell Dimension. It requires 2 gigabytes of space. and it has to install, so we're gonna click install. It's gonna ask me for my password, so enter in my password, continue installation, and this is going to install the combination update. So once this is done installing, we'll be back, because again, this is just staring at loading screens, and I've gotten a couple, well, not really any complaints, just people complain about me making long videos, so I figure we should cut out the loading screens. I guess, I don't know. But we'll be back once this is done. Alright, we're back. As you can see, the combo update finished. But if you click restart, your entire Hackintosh will break. So simply move the window to the side. Next, we're gonna install this legacy kernel, because as I said, we can't boot the vanilla kernel. That installs a new kernel, but we can't boot it. So we have to install this legacy kernel, which takes a couple of seconds. Install time, less than a minute. Come on. Aw, frick, my cardboard. No, I gotta fix that. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so, anyway, the legacy kernel finished while we were, fixing the, cardboard, so... Ah, dang it. Okay. There we go. That's better. So, now we have to open a terminal, because installing that legacy kernel... Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Come on, man. Just stay on there. Anyway, can I make this font bigger? Looks like I can. So we'll set it to be like 25 point for right now. Anyway, so what we have to do is we have to run sudo nendo library preferences system configuration com.apple.boot.plist, because installing the legacy kernel added this flag, which will cause a kernel panic. So we have to remove it. Done. Just check to make sure there is a com apple boot plist in here too, but that's okay. So now we can actually restart. So yeah. Now, while this is booting, I might as well talk about where the content is. I am an extremely lazy person. I like making videos, but they're a lot of work. Sometimes they don't even get done. I just deleted off of this iPhone a video that got canceled, a gaming on Linux video that I never released because, quite frankly, I didn't want to release it because the computer I used for it is shitty. So there have been various videos in the pipeline. I've just never gotten around to actually finishing them. Anyway, so now we have booted, and if we pull up about this Mac, you can see we are on 10.6.8, but we also have no working audio. So we're gonna address that right now, but first we have to uninstall a couple of drivers. So, and make a folder called shit, and then we're gonna open our hard disk. We're gonna go to system, or no, it's in library. No, system, library extensions, find Apple HDA, which should be... No, there it is. Apple HDA. Okay, so we're gonna just keep a backup of this in case we need it for something. I don't think we will, but I like to be on the safe side. So then we can promptly, violently delete this. And now it's gone. So next we're gonna update Voodoo HDA to 2.7.1. I like this installer because it actually comes with a uninstall script you can run at the terminal, which is pretty cool. I agree. Maybe. Yep, install to Dell Dimension. Enter in my password. So, next what we're going to cover is fixing Voodoo HDA. But first, we're just going to update it for good measure. One thing I don't like about IATK OS, I will say, is they replaced the default Aurora background with their own branded wallpaper. So I guess we can use, like, I don't know, the snow leopard picture. Because, look, snow leopard, wow. Anyway, so the installation succeeded, but if we check, we still don't have audio. And the reason why is because of our... We go into sound, output. You can see we have a whole bunch of these things. These are... It's basically detecting our video card as a bunch of HDA devices and causing this. So the way you fix it is you open Dell Dimension, or actually, yeah, you open Dell Dimension System Library Extensions. You scroll all the way down to the bottom. Voodoo HDA, show package contents, and then close this. Then open a terminal. And what we're gonna do is cd space this and sudo nano info or ls. So then it's sudo nano or info plist. I screwed up my password. So then we'll be right back because I have to Google something. I said we'll be right back. Okay, so what we have to do is we actually have to tweak the info plist. So I have some information pulled up here, and basically what we have to do is we have to change part of it to be IO PCI primary match instead of class match. So what we do is we scroll down and we find the IO kit personalities, and we find IO PCI class match, and we change it to, I believe it is, change it to IO PCI primary match. And then this hex string needs to get changed to the device ID, which in our case, I believe is 3886. No, it's 2668. So the device ID is 2668, followed by the vendor ID. And since Intel is the vendor, that would be 8086. And we can save that file and then close terminal because we no longer need it. Now, next thing we have to do is we're going to crack open our good old friend Multi-Beast. Continue. continue, I agree. Dell Dimension. What we're gonna do is we're gonna click this System Utilities box to rebuild caches and repair permissions. Then, for OS x86 software, we'll grab MSR Tools, Text Utility, and Text Helper B7. Just to have them. That's mostly why I have Multi-Beast, and it's also a good repository of drivers and stuff. So it needs our password, so we can type in my password. Yeah, I hope it's not that blurry. It looks pretty clear. I'll find out if this footage is garbage in post. But yeah, so basically what the problem is because we have an 8400 GS in here, Voodoo HDA sees that as a whole bunch of HDA audio devices, and it only gets worse when you upgrade to 1068. So what we did was we changed it to only activate on our integrated sound card. So this is going to take a couple minutes to install. It says less than a minute, but it's going to sit here. So we'll cut the tape and come back when it's done. Multi-Beast has finished. So now what I can do is we can just reboot the computer again. So we click this restart button. Yeah, the one thing I kind of like about the default IATKOS bootloader is you get this nice shiny Apple logo instead of the boring one that it normally comes with. But unfortunately, we're probably going to be getting rid of it because this old version of the bootloader kind of doesn't like responding to flags that well. So now what we're going to do is download a copy. Why aren't we connected to the internet? Oh, right. So I'm gonna go download a file and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I started a download. You want this specific version of the NVIDIA WebDrivers for 1068 if you're using a what we're using in this case is there's a whole bunch of 8400 GS PCI cards by PNY being sold on eBay. And unfortunately, they're not covered under the built-in NVIDIA drivers into Mac OS. So we have to use the web drivers. But as you can see, it says unsupported system. But that's a bunch of bullshit. So copy the NVIDIA retail driver out, and then we can inject the DMG. And while we're here, we can delete the combo update. We no longer need it. So, then what we're gonna do is we're going to go to About This Mac, More Information. So as you can see, we are on a Mac Mini 2,1. So now what we're gonna do is you simply right-click this, and you go Show Package Contents, and open distribution.dist with text edit. Open. Now this is just a whole bunch of stuff that talks about how the driver actually installs. But what we're interested in is right here at the top, we got a list of system models. So what we're gonna do is just add Mac Mini 2,1 to the list. File, save, and quit text edit. Now when we open it, wow, it opens and it's fine. So we can click continue, I agree. It requires just 94 megabytes. And install. Continue installation. This is going to write the files we need. There is one other thing we need besides the NVIDIA web drivers to get this to work. It's a text. That's one of the reasons we installed the Kext utility earlier. If we go to the new Finder window, Applications, here we have Kext utility installed, so we can use this later for when we have to install a Kext. It might be on this flash drive, but I am not entirely sure, so we will verify. So it wants us to restart, but we are not going to restart. Instead, we're going to plug in this thumbstick. Come on. I think I have it up. No, wait, that's in the right way. Come on. God damn it. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So, get this out of the way. Where's my... We're gonna let this restart here. Well, yeah, we're gonna let this restart. And once that restarts, we'll be back, because I also have to get a Kext on here, so we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and we downloaded this Kext, which is called NV Enabler 64, modified in 2009. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to update Chameleon. So Chameleon, do not install to an Apple Macintosh computer. Continue, continue, continue. I agree. Install to Dell Dimension, customize. We want the Chameleon bootloader. We don't need any of that shit. Settings. In here we want kernel flags. NVDA DRV1. So we turn that on. Do we want verbose? Yeah, we'll turn on verbose mode just because I think it's cool. General options, this will install by default, so we'll have to edit it because that's cool. Control options, I don't need any of that. Resolution, don't need any of that. Video, graphics enabler. You know what, we'll see if this works first. I've heard you can either use NV enabler or use the graphics enabler in Chameleon. So maybe this will work. We'll find out. Anyway, for theme, you know what? We don't need no theme. So just click that install button and we'll type in my password yet again. The way I did this previously was I used NV enabler, but that showed unknown NVIDIA card in the system profiler, and I'm not crazy about that. Anyway, so now as you can see, Chameleon has been installed, so we can open a terminal. We do cd/cd extra, and in here we have org chameleon boot plist. So what we can do is sudo nano org chameleon boot plist, enter in my password, and if we come down here, we can see it has attempted to make us boot into 32-bit mode. That causes a kernel panic every time. So we can just get rid of that. As you can see, we have our NVIDIA driver enabled and our graphics enabler enabled, so we can X out of this, close the terminal, and let us reboot. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our applications folder. Applications, here's Kext utility. Simply drag NV enabler onto that Kext, type in your password. It will install. Maybe. And it's done. Oh wow, that is super blurry. There we go. Is it still reported? Is it reporting a course? Yeah, it's reporting a course solo now. That's cool. Anyway, so we can simply restart the computer again. As you can see, we are running in a lower resolution. But that means that it's working. So we're gonna switch our refresh to 60 hertz. Right, it does this sometimes. I'm gonna do a force reboot, and we'll be back momentarily once I get the resolution up all the way. Alright, that took a couple of minutes, but we back. And if we pull up system preferences, you can see we're running at the highest resolution supported by this monitor, and smooth animations. So if we pull up about this Mac, more info, and then we go to displays, which is graphics/displays, you can see we have an unknown, zoom in a little for you here, unknown NVIDIA card with 512 megabytes of VRAM on the PCIe bus at 1X. This is actually a PCI video card, but do I care? No. Anyway, so this is a fully working Hackintosh. We can even do a little bit of internet browsing. I would use Arctic Fox, the browser for macOS Snow Leopard, but it crashes on startup on the Pentium 4. So we have to use an Intel build of 10.4 Fox, which is kind of old, kind of crusty. But it's better than nothing. As you can see, yeah, we have no support. And yeah, this is kind of old and out of date, but it's whatever. So then we can try, I don't know, let's go to Google. Let's see if we can't play a YouTube video, because that would be the ultimate test of this Hackintosh. So, Attack of the Killer Queen. Let's see if I can't play something easy, like a music video. Please update, you're right, I don't care, shut up. Alright, Pentium 4, I believe in you. You can do this. Oh no. Look, we got the spinny circle of death. Oh no. We're going to die. Maybe. Well, that, okay. Yep, we're hard locked. Oh god. Yeah, we're hard locked. Okay. I'm gonna force quit 10.4 Fox. But you know what we can maybe do instead is 10.5 tube. Whatever it's called. No! Okay, so 10.5 tube. Yet another 10.5 tube. Yeah, this'll work. Okay. For Mac OS X. Let's grab the newest version. It should run on here, even if this is for Power PC, because we have Rosetta, so it's not entirely out of it. Oh my god, why is this download so slow? Oh, I guess Macintosh Garden basically is running on somebody's basement server, which is fine. I do the same thing. Come on. You know, it's probably the HTTPS stack or something, or the glue code that keeps this together. Because yeah, this is a random Intel build of 10.4 which is fine. It works. It's just a little out of date, so you can't really browse that much of the modern internet with it. I would love to use Arctic Fox, but I can't. It just crashes on startup, and honestly, I'm inclined to blame something like IATKOS for doing something funky with the files. Okay, this is taking way too long. I'll come back when this download's done. I can't ramble for another 30 minutes. Alright, it's done. Let us open it. Here is 10.5 tube. We shall copy it out of the DMG here onto our desktop for now. And we can eject this. 10.5 tube quit unexpectedly. Well, that show details. What the fuck am I looking at? I think we're just gonna have to call it there, because I don't have any demos prepared unless you want to see freaking iWork 09 running on a Dell, but that's stupid, so thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll come up with something else sooner than like 3 months from now. And hope you have a good rest of your day. See you later.